Hello everybody, Nintendo 14 here. Welcome back to the year of Mario Kart. Last part, we went over the 4 tracks that made up Mario Kart 7's Shell Cup, and also we raced in the first of Mario Kart 7's new tracks that were in Mario Kart 8 in the form of the music park. This part, DK, Toad, and Peach will be our rivals for the tracks that we're going to be racing in from the Banana Cup from Mario Kart 7. The first of those being Koopa Beach, which has oddly been renamed from Mario Kart in Mario Kart 7. It was Koopa Troopa Beach in Mario Kart 64, but it's just Koopa Beach in Mario Kart 7. That'll be our first track. Our second track is Mario Circuit 2 from the Super Nintendo. Third track being Coconut Ball from the Wii. And lastly, rounding out the Banana Cup for Mario Kart 7 is DS Waluigi Stadium. And then we'll cap off with the additional 5th race in Piranha Plat Slide from Mario Kart 7. From Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. We'll be alternating between both Mario Kart 8. Last part we did the 3DS track in Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U. This time we're going to do it in the Switch version. So you saw last lap I did that shortcut. I didn't know I could do it. I mean, I never assumed that you can always get the shortcut there, but you know, with the right amount of speed, like with Yoshi, and with a well-timed hop, then you can make that shortcut without a mushroom. All the good old stuff you can do in good old Mario Kart 64. Okay, so we're in the final lap here. Our rivals, in terms of rivals, we're going to be worrying about Peach and Toad. I guess a little quick note about this part. I was considering on having Mario as the rival rather than DK, just because he did pretty well for this race, you know, being in the mix all race long. But unfortunately, that's where all of his good runs stop, or at least for a while. And that's he's gonna be doing pretty mediocre throughout the races. So just because of that, that's what kept me from having him as one of the 3 rivals that we have, and instead having favor for DK. So we get the first win off this Grand Prix that I came up with, and just like last time, we got a half our points, but thankfully Peach, who was the best finishing rival that we had, only finished 3rd, so we have a 2-point lead after all that. Alright, so we're getting into Mario Circuit 2. Fortunately, you can see me cut there from 4th to 8th, because there's no way to advance to the next race like that, so I had to start the race 4th and then cut there. But anyways, that shouldn't have mattered anyways. So yeah, we're back in Super Mario Kart. Still one of the toughest games to really get around CPU players, because when you hit them, they pretty much bounce you into an unpreferred lane, and they also at the wrong angle, then they can really mess you up. So really with this game, it's all about either you hit them with an item, or you gotta pass them cleanly, like I'm doing right here. And also a quick tip: don't try to point blank someone with the item, because they're probably gonna hop right over it. So for some odd reason, you gotta make sure you get some distance, so that way you can hit it. Because apparently the CPUs have this weird way of reaction time, where the reaction time is less when it's from a distance, but at a close range like that, when there's less time, then they have a good reaction time. I don't know. Weird CPUs, especially for this game. But anyways, we caught a lucky break right after that mushroom that Peach threw out in front of us that makes us shrink, and in result of that made us fall back and get a lightning, so we can turn the tables around, reclaim the lead, and get another W. But that's gonna be all we're gonna need, because that's all we can do for right now, because Peach once again got another top 3 finish, so she's still in the mix with us. And so with that, she's still only 1 point behind us. So we still need to do our thing and hope that she doesn't finish second or third too many times. Otherwise, she's actually gonna surpass us in the points race. So let's just hope for all of those in this next race here in Coconut Mall from Mario Kart Wii. Once again, stepping it up quite a big jump, all the way from the Super Nintendo all the way to the Wii. And so, you know, just thinking about Mario Kart 7, I did look into ways that I could capture 3DS content or just 3DS games. There's two main ways on how you can do that. One is installing the the capture board into your 3DS. It's also the more expensive of these two options, and it's also the option that my friends Tom and Todd, when they got their capture card, that's how they did it. They sent theirs in, spent the $400 $500 on getting it installed, and that's how they did it. It's also the more reliable way to record out of the two because it's directly from the hardware, and you're gonna get much more reliable quality if you do it that way. Whereas with the second option, it's installing this custom firmware to your 3DS. This only works for new 3DS systems, so only the new 2DS XL or the new 3DS XL or new 3DS original size. So you get this custom firmware done. It's a lengthy process on getting that. You need to make sure you get all the steps right, and then you get this. Then you install this firmware to your new 3DS, and then that'll allow you to get this software onto your 3DS so you can access it. And then by using your router, connect that to your new 3DS, you can capture directly to your computer. That's just as far as I can understand how the second method of capturing from the 3DS works. It's a whole lot cheaper. You don't have to get anything installed. It's just that you need to download a couple of things here and there. But another huge problem about this, besides it being a little convoluted and might not work if you don't get all the steps right, it's that the quality isn't all that great. I've seen a couple recording tests using this method, and I saw that the bottom screen was the frame rate for the bottom screen was really choppy. That and the frame rate and the quality of your recording, it's all dependent on how fast your internet speed is. So I know my internet speed, mine's not the greatest. So for my sakes, I don't think it's the best. So anyways, while I was talking all about that, we were cruising in first, and we got yet another win. So that's good and all, but still, Peach got another top 3, and that actually catapulted her to the top position. We're 1 point back, so we still need to keep on clicking off these race wins. Hope that Peach doesn't get a top 3. Maybe Waluigi Pinball or onwards would allow for that. Anyways, back to 3DS. I'm real hopeful that whatever time point where my Mario Kart 7 videos for the year of Mario Kart, wherever they went, hopefully it's not too far distant into the future. And then whenever that time comes, I'll be happy to unearth those lost Mario Kart 7 videos. Okay, so back into the gameplay. We've returned to Waluigi Pinball, and it's all in all its great music and aesthetics. This is hands down one of my favorite tracks of all time. I mean, I'm not alone on saying this, but it's just that great of a track, and it would have been cool to have this part as this track in Mario Kart 8, because there are a couple turns here that would work really well for Mario Kart 8's with Mario Kart's handling. But it did work. I think it worked pretty well for Mario Kart 7 as well, because I think both games handle considerably similar. Because because of how they have the new drifting mechanic that you gotta steer hard left or right. I think that makes it somewhat alright, but I think if you were to have it with Mario Kart 8, I think it would have been slightly better. Anyways, we're still cruising out on front. Thankfully, with their bottom screen, you can see the action that's going on behind us. Looks like Peach is all the way in 6th. I think you should have mentioned that because we were 1 point behind Peach, we need to have her basically just need to have her out of the top 3, or at least worst case scenario, or at most worst case scenario for us, Peach finishes 2nd, and then we're still been getting firsts. But I think if Peach were to finish 3rd right here and right now, then it won't be as punishing as say if she finished 2nd. But anyways, we have almost a quarter lap lead on Dry Bones, who's in the 2nd spot, keeping away the points from DK, and who's in 3rd, which is one of our 3 rivals. And so we're gonna get the victory. Peach will get 6th, and that will put some weight on her shoulders in this points race as we regain the lead with a 2-point lead. DK slowly clawing his way in, his way back into this points race. But is it going to be enough after this last race here in Piranha Plant Slide? Also, with this 2-point lead, in order to clinch the Grand Prix for this video, we need to not only put some distance on Peach, but we need to, best case scenario, the only way we can really control our own destiny is if we win the race, and if Peach doesn't finish in the top 3. It's simple as we could put it right now. So let's just go ahead and do what we gotta do. Make sure we keep the lead, and then just cross our fingers and hope that we get everything we need that happens in the back of the pack. And so also another thing about our rivals, just because how well DK performed in the later part of the Grand Prix, that's why I chose him to be our rival. I mean, it's a little unfitting to have him as a rival, especially when technically he wasn't in Super Mario Kart. Instead, his father, Donkey Kong Jr. Yeah, because with the way that the family tree works for the Donkey Kong name hold, that the original Donkey Kong is Cranky Kong, and then his son is Donkey Kong Jr., who starred in the Donkey Kong Jr. games, where he ended up saving his father, Cranky Kong, and now the modern Donkey Kong we know is the son of Donkey Kong Jr. I'm just basing all these facts off the Super Mario Wiki, and there's some other sources that prove this. But honestly, the whole thing is quite fascinating, and that's there's a little family tree going on in the Kong family. So anyways, yeah, about that. I wish that wasn't the case, and that's we had to have Donkey Kong Jr. sub in for Donkey Kong for one race. But I think that's how we'll have it see out. Then again, it doesn't make too much of a difference because Donkey Kong Jr. didn't gain any points from that one race that we had back in Mario Circuit 2. So either we could just say DK subbed in for DK Jr. and then he got a shot at getting his son Donkey Kong any points, or let's just say that Donkey Kong sat out for Mario Circuit 2. But anyways, like with Coconut Mall and Waluigi Stadium, we got a pretty big lead over 2nd place. That's going to be Tanuki Mario. As we're rounding out the last few corners, we're gonna be perfecting the trifecta here in the Banana Cup for Mario Kart 7 that I arranged for myself, with the Piranha Plant Slide included. Get maximum points of 31, and not have Peach in the top 3. So that meant we were able to edge out Peach by 6 points, and a Toad that was able to improve a bit, for another victory in these custom Grand Prix that I made for myself in the tracks of Mario Kart 7. So that's going to do it for this video. Tune in next week as we're going to be going over the Leaf Cup Grand Prix for Mario Kart 7 and all the tracks that originated from that Grand Prix. And also another thing I'd like to mention is there's no like or dislike list for this, for the same reason that there's no intro segments for the tracks in Mario Kart 7, just because how unfitting it would be if I were to mention all that when we're not actually playing Mario Kart 7. So, with all that being said, I'll see you guys here next week for the third part of the tracks of Mario Kart 7. So till then, I'll see you guys later. I'll see you guys later.